Hi everyone, this is Jen and welcome to Katahdin Crafts. Today's project I teamed up with my friend Carrie Rhoades for yet another challenge. These are so much fun. This time we decided to dedicate these to our husbands because today is Valentine's Day and who better to make our projects for than our loves. So I decided to go with Lawn Fawn's Let's Barbecue stamp set and coordinating dies. You can see, and I'm going to use Lawn Fawn's jet black ink to ink up my stamps, and then we're going to Copic marker color. All right, I'm going to start with the barbecue grill. I'm going to speed things up obviously a little bit because the coloring can take a little bit of time. But I just wanted to make sure that this had some dimension, so I always start with a lighter color and then I work in with my darker colors. And I wanted to make sure that there was a white highlight in the middle. And so I'm working some darker colors on the edges. You can see the colors that I have on the side. With shading in the corners like I am, I wanted to create some sort of depth with the shadowing to make it look like it had some three-dimensional qualities. So that's what I was trying to achieve with my coloring. And then I went ahead and did the top of the grill. And you can see in a minute I had actually stamped an extra stake, and then I just used that as a template so I could try to shade around where I wanted the completed, the colored stake to be. And that way I didn't have to worry about the edges getting gray because I didn't want gray on the actual piece that I was going to color. So therefore I just used that as a template and went ahead with my coloring like that. As I continue coloring, I just wanted to give a really good shout out to my friend Carrie. She's kind of taken me under her wing a little bit with my whole Katahdin Crafts journey. She's helped me with a gazillion amount of questions that I've asked her. She's been doing this a lot longer than I have, so I'm very appreciative of all of her help and, of course, of her friendship. I do appreciate it. It's pretty amazing how Instagram can make us connect from all the way from Maine to Idaho. I love that. And we have so much in common. We've discovered so many different things that we have in common. So it's really fun. And I appreciate her a lot. So this is always fun, and I hope that we continue doing these challenges together because it also helps me with my motivation and my creativity and deadlines, all of the above. It helps me get my stuff together because we all live busy lifestyles. I have 3 children, and they're all involved in sports, so we're going all the time. So in the middle of running the kids around, and I actually am a homeschool mom, so this being creative is definitely a great outlet for me. There's nothing better for me than being in my PJs, having an audiobook going, and doing some creating and coloring. It's actually the best mental health thing for me, and I love it. So this new journey with Katahdin Crafts and meeting Carrie, all of it has been so good for me. As we all know, self-care is really important. If we don't take care of ourselves, it's hard to take care of the rest of our family, right? But, all right, well, anyway, I am still coloring with my Copic markers, as you can see. Just finishing up, I'm going to highlight a little bit with a white Jelly Roll pen. Just putting a little bit of highlight again for a little bit of dimension. So, and next I'm going to take Lawn Fawn's Puffy Cloud Borders, and I cut a template from it, and I also used Lawn Fawn's Outside In Stitch Circle stackables, and I cut a circle from that, and I used the puffy clouds just as a template to use tumbled glass distress oxide ink and make some puffy clouds in the sky. This was the first time I've actually tried this before, this technique, but I really liked it. I love the way it came out. As you can see, I just moved the clouds around a little bit slightly and just used a soft hand as I blended. I just wanted just a little bit of the definition where you could see the clouds and make sure I still had some white. Next, I'm going to cut out my grass with Simple Grassy Hillsides from Lawn Fawn, run that through my die cut machine, and then I'm going to use the outside in stitch circle again so I have that seamless look with the stitching, and just cut that circle for the bottom, and then that fits in perfectly. And now I'm going to use the coordinating dies to cut out all of my pieces for all the pieces that we colored. And I started assembling. I'm just using Lawn Fawn's glue to put that together. And I got a little bit of a blip there, so I'm going to have to fix that up with the eraser. And then I'm just going to go work it and see how I wanted all the pieces to fit on my card. And then now I'm using Sugar Pea Designs Sugar Cut Letter Message Board just for the letter part of it. I wanted something that was about this size, so this worked out perfectly. I know I had to cut the whole alphabet out, but I can use that in on a later project. And then I decided that I wanted that little fork to be inside of the steak sticking out. So I grabbed an X-Acto and I just cut that a little slit in there so that would stick out well. And then I just started assembling my card with all the pieces after I figured out where I wanted it all to be. I kind of play around with my pieces a lot just to make sure before I start gluing. And then, yep, I was positioning that. And then I'm going to use Lawn Fawn's Science of Love, just one little piece of that stamp set I liked with the steam and the hearts. So I'm going to use the jet black ink again for that. But I'm going to, well, first mark it so I could see where I wanted it behind that stake. And then I was just experimenting a little bit here. I didn't really want it to be fully on black, so I used a secondary stamping. So I stamped it once on a scrap piece of paper, and then I went and I stamped it on my project, so it would just be that light looking, you know, that smoking look. It was just light in the background. And then I decided that that was covering it a little bit too much, so I decided to go ahead and add a couple more. So that's what I'm doing here. Again, I'm going to use the secondary stamping and get off some of that black ink, so it's just lightly on there, but it's enough so looks like it's smoking. We got a smoking hot steak going on. I'm gonna just assemble that back on there. I really like the Lawn Fawn glue. I like liquid adhesives anyway, just because I like to be able to slide things around. I never get it perfectly at first, so I like having that option of being able to slide things around. We had to add the hot, and I'm not sure. I think that I've got a little glitch going on once in a while. I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure what's happening with my video editing. I'll have to check into that. So just bear with me with that for this video. I apologize. And then we've got the hot on there. So next we're going to take our card base. I've already cut it out and scored it. So I'm just going to use a bone folder and make sure that's getting nice and creased. And then I used a scrap piece of basil dotted paper that I had, a brown shade. I like to use up my scraps as much as possible. The green that I used for the grass was also a basil scrap that I had. And now I'm using Lawn Fawn's Everyday Sentiment banners to cut out my sentiment. And then I was just positioning that, and I didn't want it to go all the way across, so I marked it off a little bit. See, and now I'm going to do the inside of the card. I lined a little bit of it to just make it coordinate well with the front. I put a little bit of the basil brown, and out of the Love and Breakfast, Lawn Fawn's Love and Breakfast, I used their sentiments. I love you, my stud muffin. And then out of their celebration Scripty sentiments, I put Happy Valentine's Day. And then as you can see, I went ahead with the banner in the sentiment and changed it to the orange shade that was the same color as the hot. I just thought that worked really well together and coordinated the card a little bit more. And then I'm going to pop it up with some foam tape on the back and add that to the front of my card. And there we have it. I've got the complete Valentine's Day card dedicated to my husband, or for my husband, because I do believe that he is smoking hot. And thank you very much for coming along the journey with me. And thanks to Carrie for another great challenge. I look forward to a lot more. And please give her a check out on her channel. I have seriously learned a lot from her. And I look forward to actually her teaching me how to do some hot foiling in the near future. I will have all of Carrie's social media links below. If you enjoyed this project, please like and subscribe. And visit me on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you. Have a great Valentine's Day.